It's well kept, garaged vehicle. And then all the service work we went through on, we found, I think, a couple ball joints that we replaced. Folks, Ryan Wilson here, Predator Inc., and today I have got an insane truck. It's coming up for sale. It is a 2001 H1 Hummer Wagon. It's very stock, looks very clean, black on black wagon. It's just absolutely beautiful. Black rims on the outside, factory brush guard, but it has a major upgrade, which is a Duramax conversion on it. It is an LBZ engine with the Allison 6-speed transmission. And really, that's like the best package you could possibly ask for. Typically, the 6.5 turbo diesel is a 100,000 mile motor, underpowered, less than 200 horsepower out of it, where this guy's putting out about 500 horsepower and 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And what that means is just drivability. It's through the roof. It's something that you would expect from a new vehicle that we're kind of accustomed to today. Not something back in 1980 when that original engine was developed. Now it's drivable. Now it's a very comfortable vehicle to drive around. Since the conversion, it has about 5,000 miles on it or so. It does have a 2-inch body lift. AM General did it on the Alpha Hummer that came out in 2006. And we've done this for, probably 15 years or so of doing the Duramax conversion. The reason for that is we have to clear the turbo on the new Duramax engine that went in place. Factory brush guard, iconic for the H1 Hummer. Toyo open country tires. It retains a lot of the off-road ability out of the truck. It actually improves it with a sidewall protection here. Very comfortable on the road, very quiet going down the road. We went with the quick release CTIS lines. It's dual isolating, so when you pop this guy off right here, you can hear that sound right there. It disconnects and isolates this tire from the other tire on the other side. The factory one does not do that. So the factory one, when you disconnect it here, the tire is going to go flat. So that's a little bit of a problem. This isolates here as well as on the hub side. And then finally, something I'm really excited about, our new protector plates, the CTIS protector plates right here. We've got CTIS engraved in here, as well as our Predator logo here. Really cool design, billet aluminum. I think we started off machining this out of like 1/2-inch plate. Really strong, a lot nicer and cleaner than the half moon shaped pieces. Okay, so coming down the line of the truck, this is one of the critical areas back here that you want to look for when it comes to an older truck that's going up for sale and you're looking for corrosion. So in this area here, if it's a repaint, oftentimes the painter can get really lazy and they get in here and sand out all the corrosion that has developed, but it isn't properly removed. And what happens is you'll see gouges in here. This doesn't have it. And with the fresh repaint on it, the black on this thing just pops. And then underneath too, there's really no surprises. It's just really clean. You look underneath there, it's well kept, garaged vehicle. And then all the service work we went through on, we found, I think, a couple ball joints that we replaced. And the steering components up here, they're actually in really good shape, but we decided just to go ahead and replace them. There's a little bit of wear on there, so might as well just make sure it's 110% and ready to go, and something that you could just jump into and take off across the country. I honestly wouldn't have any hesitation in driving this thing across the country as is. Now let's pop the hood, take a look underneath here. Underneath the hood, as you can see, just a very clean Duramax converted truck. You don't have wires all over the place. It's just dialed in, ready to go. No issues with cooling. We've been running some miles on this truck. Everything is 100%. We actually go through and hook up our laptop, and on our laptop, we can scan everything from flow rates on the injectors, pressures inside the transmissions, went through all full diagnostics on the engine, cooling system, transmission. It's 100%. She runs extremely well. And this is something that I wouldn't hesitate getting into and driving it across the country. So one thing to note about this truck is it is currently not a California CARB compliant vehicle, meaning that this technically will not pass smog. Now it did a couple months ago, but since then they're enforcing a number of different mandates that have come through the pipeline. So that needs to be done if it's going to be sold in California. If it's sold out of California, there's no issues with that. It still has a catalytic converter on here. It was California compliant before the new standards took place. So the new standards that took place, we would just need to take this in and get it carb certed with the sticker. There's some minor costs with that, but it can be done, or it can be shipped out of the state of California. Either way, it does have all the compliancy on there as far as EGR, catalytic converter, EO stickers on the air intake, the air filter, on and on. So let's go ahead and take a look on the inside now. Okay, so we're inside the truck now, and as you can see, the truck is extremely clean. And one of the signs that you look for is like the overall condition of the dash. If you see a lot of scratches and nicks and damage, discoloration's a big one. The stereo has been upgraded to a Pioneer head unit with Bluetooth connectivity, as well as integration to your cell phone with a microphone that's kind of hidden right over here. It also has a Momo steering wheel, wood grain steering wheel. One of the things that we're waiting on right now is a new rearview mirror. It's coming in. This is a common problem where it delaminates a little bit. Still functional, but it's just not 100%. So this guy's getting replaced. We're running this new rearview mirror that will have the integrated reverse camera. So that really makes sense. You don't have like this massive DVD player up here with reverse camera integration. It really retains the factory look and feel and finish of the interior, as well as the exterior of the truck, by integrating that camera in here. So that's coming in tomorrow, I believe, and then we'll have that installed right away. Overall, just a really straightforward truck, and it has all the right upgrades. If you're looking for a truck that does have a very factory fit and finish and feel to it, this is definitely it. Let's get this thing out on the road and take it for a test drive. 190 horsepower compared to about 500 horsepower, and it's not like you're racing this truck. Not at all. It's just getting the comfort level is there, because now you can get out in front of traffic. You got a semi truck on the on-ramp that you're pulling up next to, the guaranteed 6.5 turbo diesel, 190 horsepower. You're backing off the throttle, you're pulling in behind, as opposed to just adding a little more throttle and popping out in front of them. So it's just much better, much more drivable. It also has 6 speeds in here, so that means that your RPM is running a lot lower than a 6.5 turbo diesel with the 480 transmission. There's so many features to the Duramax engine. It's a common rail engine, and what that means is you have one common rail of high pressure fuel supply that goes into the engine. And when you're putting in fuel supply into a diesel engine that's coming in there about 25,000 PSI or so, what happens is the engine runs a lot quieter and a lot smoother. And the reason for that is the fuel is literally atomizing with the air, so it turns it into a gas when it goes into the combustion chamber. And result is a lot quieter engine than you would get out of a 6.5 turbo diesel. So yeah, 6.5 turbo diesel, there's people out there who will argue it's a great engine for what it was back in the 80s when it was designed. Technically, it's a variant of a 1970s engine. And originally it was a gasser engine they converted over to a diesel, and then later converted that one into redesigned into a real diesel engine, and then they added a turbo on there. Each time developing new problems, it runs well for that era, but we're not in that era anymore. This is 2021, and people want to get out on the road. I mean, look at this. I mean, no hesitation at all, and I'm well past 60 miles an hour. So it just gets up and goes, and it's like, do you need that everywhere you go? Some people are like, yeah, I do, but don't. But it adds a lot more comfort to the vehicle and the drive. But it's something that you're going to utilize. Like, it's funny, going back years ago when we started doing Duramax inversions, I had almost every one of my customers call me back afterwards and say, hey Ryan, I got the conversion from you, and what I noticed was you get this drivability that you never had before, and in this particular truck, the interior is just so darn clean. Like the dash here isn't banged up or scuffed up. It's evident that my kids weren't in here or other kids weren't rummaging around in here. And you see that in a truck, an older truck, 20 plus years old with, and again, this is low miles for this truck, 68,000 miles, but you don't see that in this. This is, my hunch is it was one person that was driving it for the majority of the time. All right, guys, so appreciate you watching. Definitely check out this truck if you're looking for a wagon, a really clean truck, and you want to use it, have that Duramax converted truck. This is definitely it. It doesn't get much cleaner than this. It's going up for sale here in another day or so. It's going to be offered at $142,000, and it's probably going to go pretty quick at that price. So again, thanks for watching. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back to our normal vlogs tomorrow, the next day, something like that. All right, see you guys soon. Thanks.